I like to live vicariously through other people's stories. And when I say I've been shopping electric cars for a while, it's window shopping. Like I keep looking, I've got to up my game a little bit or reduce some of my decks. Basically, I bought my wife a car, my daughter a car. They're paying for, I mean, my wife and I are paying for hers, but my daughter's paying for her own car, but blah, 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 I use my credit because they needed cars and mine was okay. But I've been working through that. It was funny. One of the first early recordings we did, you're like, yeah, man, I got to go because I'm going to go test drive this Honda Prelude. Like, Honda Prelude, I've been looking at that one for a minute. That one looks really cool. And then you didn't like it. And I'm like, I'll probably still look at it, but, so on and so forth. And I've been looking at like Hondas and Hyundais. And my wife has a Passport. We just bought a Honda. She got the Passport. You just had a Pilot. So I'm like, holy crap, the overlaps of things. However, Charles, you're confusing with Josh and Johnny Knoxville. Maybe a little bit. Like, hey, Josh, have you ever put a bottle of scotch in your rectum? It grinds the beans. I don't know. That was bad. That was bad. I'm sorry, Joe. That was bad. I shouldn't have. No. Although there is definitely a welcome to Jackass moment on one of the shows. But I was raised, I was born in the late 70s, raised through the 80s and 90s, and leasing was the horrible, worst thing ever. Don't do it, blah, 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 no value, blah, 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 this and that, the other. And same with new cars. Don't buy a new car because the second you drive off lot, turn back around, you see how much money you lost. I'm like, why would I turn around? I bought what I want. Anyway, so I bought into that, right?
Yeah.
But since COVID, the markets have definitely changed to where used cars are not, I mean, it's a much tougher market for used cars. They're more expensive. People are holding on to stuff. Even me, I normally change a car out about 100 to 120,000 miles. It's usually paid off by that point. I buy used, I buy them low mileage, and I get them paid off as fast as I can. And I'm right at 200,000 now in my car. And it's still running great. I've done all the work. But I was telling my wife, like, to get a good deal on an electric car for something I'm going to live in for the next 7, 8, 9, 10 years, probably, hopefully, theoretically, I might need to go new this time because the dealerships are starving to sell the new cars. So they're giving all kind of incentives and all kind of stuff. But you surprised me when we were talking the other day, and you not only had a newer car. I don't remember what year model you said you just got, but basically you leased your last vehicle and you leased this one.
Yep.
Okay. So walk me through. I don't think I've ever met somebody who wasn't just hoity-toity, snooty, burning money kind of person. I'm not serious. They were like, oh, I just want a new car whenever I want a new car. They just lease because they're toys. You're the first person that has an operational vehicle that I've met that actually leased a vehicle. So what the hell, man?
I mean, we've been doing that since probably 2012. We've been leasing every 3 years, taking it back, getting a new one. You just got to work the deal when you go back because they're going to try to screw you over. But the reason I like it is because it's under warranty for that whole time. All the maintenance is usually covered, or at least some part of the maintenance. And in 3 years, there's not a lot of maintenance anyways, especially as easy as we are on cars. And then, we just turned ours in and got a new 2026 Honda CR-V hybrid. So, and I got the payment basically in half of what my one was for the last time. So super stoked about
that. Which
was
very affordable from what you told me. I'm not, you can say it or not say it, I don't care, but you told me, and I was like, well, that's less than my wife's payment to own the car. Now,
leases should be cheaper. Now,
but don't you pay that? And I guess that's how you negotiate. But don't you pay like a down payment up front, and sometimes you actually make a payment at the end as well? No.
Well, it depends. I mean, if you're returning the lease and you're not releasing, they're going to try to screw you over. Yes, they're going to try. They're going to try to hit you for maintenance. They're going to try to hit you for any kind of dings you have on the car or anything. But if you're releasing from them, that's a selling point for them. They're like, hey, we'll forgive you for this. We'll forgive you for that. I'm like, and I'm just like,
okay, do they really use the words, we'll forgive you for XYZ?
Yeah. Oh yeah. They'll try to make, but it's like, if you have half a brain, they don't like you when you have half a brain because you can think for yourself and you can go in there and you can just own them because it's like, hey, I've been paying you for this car for 3 years. Now I'm giving it back and you're going to sell it.
Right, because it's not mine. Yeah.
So shut up and give me whatever I want. And yeah, a lot of times with a lease, the down payment, the higher you put, the lower your payment's going to be, obviously. But I got pretty close to what they were advertising, and I only put down half of what they wanted. So it's all about how you're willing to wheel and deal with a lease.
Now,
And
I know you work from home mostly.
Yeah.
And your family does. Your whole family
Yeah,
works.
we're all
except for like when you go to cons or whatever.
yeah.
What about the mileage? Don't they lock you on mileage? 'Cause I drive a lot.
Yeah, you have to get the right deal for you. I
Okay.
mean, and I don't know. I think the most we've had per year is like 12,000 on a lease, 12,000 miles a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now my life changes from time to time, and I don't drive as much as I did for a big section of my life.
Yeah.
But even so, this week my daughter has a 2013 Hyundai Veloster. It's a little sporty looking car, and it suits her personality. She loves it. But 2013, it is 2026 now, so it was older. It was also like 12 grand used last year when we got it.
Yeah.
So I was like, holy crap, the value. I mean, and then they gave me like 5 or 6 years to pay. And I was like, man, y'all are really betting that this car is going to last a long time, but that's the market, I guess. And plus I owe it whether the car lasts or not. But there was an issue all of a sudden with the engine. And through a very quick, less than 24-hour turnaround, we found out that it was a known issue with the engine. Like it threw a rod all of a sudden. Like she'd done no maintenance, no signs, no nothing. And all of a sudden it starts kind of knocking. I'm like, But there was a known issue with the rods in that engine. And Hyundai stood behind it. That, of course, that's the way the world works today, Josh, right? It's like no CEO can go, hey, we know there's a problem. We're just going to recall all the things. He'll be fired tomorrow because the stakeholders want their money.
Yeah.
But you get sued, and all of a sudden you come up with the same solution to make the lawsuit go away, not pay millions on millions on millions on millions of dollars, then you're the hero.
Yeah.
So that notwithstanding, that's what happened. They gave a 15-year / 15,000 mile warranty on that engine from the first time it was resold, which happened to be when we bought it was the first time it had been resold after that.
Okay.
100% free engine put in it. Like they're almost finished. And also they're like, and Hyundai pays for the rental. It's basically a lease. I've been driving a 2026 Hyundai Elantra around for the last week. A little small for me.
Yeah.
But loved it. It's like, I could get that, but hey, you can only do like 100 miles a day. I'm like, that should be okay. Barely. if they had the car done today, I was squeaking in under the 100 miles a day.
Wow,
marker.
where are you going?
It's Georgia, baby. Everything is far away. So I went to Dragon Con. So we picked it up Saturday. So the dealership, that was actually a decent one that we could find. The one near us was not good. So it's 30 minutes away. So that's about 15, 20 miles. So I had to drive out there, get it, drive back. And then, then I went to Atlanta, which is another 25, 30 miles that day to go to a director's meeting and this and that other. Next morning, I went up to North Atlanta, 40 miles away to do a Dragon Con Volunteer Appreciation Day because I live just outside the city. So I think it's kind of like you in Memphis, where if you're going downtown, you're just putting on some miles, whatever. And then today for a client, I went down south to pick up some stuff. So I'm like, and 2 days this week, I only drove 14 miles one way. So 20 something miles, and I'm still sketching under. Before this life, when I ran a company that was based in Athens, which is an hour and 10 minutes away from me, I'm putting hundreds of miles on my car every week, man. My car's a 2013 and it's about to hit 200,000 miles. It's up there. So the leases worry me a little bit.
Yeah, I think leasing, it's for very particular situations, and also it's a little bit of my PTSD with growing up with bad cars and terrible cars.
Yeah,
and not ever wanting to have that situation.
Oh no, I hate it. Yeah.
So I'm like, if we could lease and do this, and I'm like, this will work out. But you can always sell it too when you're done. You can do like there's online things called lease end. You can end your lease, sell it, and then buy it and then go sell it. So because usually that's why people lease, because you get equity in the car.
Interesting.
Yeah. So if like, especially Honda, because of how Honda holds up for years and years and years, if I have a 2026 Honda CRV hybrid in 2029 with 25,000 miles on it, I could still probably get, $33,000 for that car.
So,
And
but
I
when you buy it, do you buy it for the original price, or how's that? How do you make I mean, how do you make break even at least, if not make a profit on that?
so whatever, there's like a buyout at the end, and you finance that buyout, and you're not going to buy what it's worth. You're going to buy what's left on your lease. That's it. And you're going to buy
Okay.
that out, and then you can go somewhere and get, sell it for the Kelly Blue Book value.
So you just got to make sure you're picking. If you're, man, that's too complicated for me. That's like playing the stock market. I do some simple stock market work,
I don't.
but but you got to
No,
pick the right car, Josh. What if you pick the one that kind of tanks, and then in 2029? Well, I guess you just turn it back in and release another one.
That's right. But Honda,
Yeah.
you're pretty safe bet with Honda.
Yeah. My first hybrid was a Honda Civic, and it was all my cars are 8 to 10 years old when I get them. Typically, sometimes I get lucky and it's a little closer, but yeah, the Honda Civic ran until the EV battery wore out, and at the time it was a big expensive conversation for us. But it was going to be $4,000 to fix it. We found at the dealership, we found somebody to do it for $2,000, which is all my wife's like. It was their first generation EV. I mean, so they obviously made better strides since then, because now you've got the CRV that you're driving, the hybrid. And the Elantra I'm driving is a hybrid. I know it's Hyundai, but when I came home, I told my wife, like, I averaged 50.8 miles per gallon today. That gets me as excited as your super espresso machine.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great thing. I left mine on today when I went inside.
Oh, you didn't realize it because it's too quiet. You didn't turn it off,
Dude. And I went I grabbed my phone as soon as I got in, and it's still, there's no audio, and I'm like, oh my God, it's connected to the Bluetooth. It's still on. I really like that. And plus, it's got some. I like now driving a little bit of a smaller car, because it's got this nice get up and go, and you can get into the parking spaces easier and all this stuff. And the other thing too is, like, if you get the good payments, like, not the last Pilot we had, but the Pilot before that, we had a Pilot and a Civic. We were leasing 2 cars at the same time at $700 a month.
That's what, $350 each, roughly.
Brand new cars. So if you just gotta, like I said, you gotta be able to wheel and deal, and you just gotta know you shouldn't be paying as much for a lease as you are like when you're buying it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there needs to be, and there's formulas online where you can see like how much your payment should be per month, depending on what you put down. Because basically, it's like buying something, and instead of on your car payment, the interest is like figured out monthly. All the interest is figured out right at the front end, and then you add that onto the car, and then you can divide by that.
Gotcha.
And figure out your payment.
So it's a chunk of money versus an ongoing.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And that honestly kind of makes sense, because, like I said, I use, so I'm never getting the technology that I like, because it's been so nice to be in that Elantra and see how they've done the CarPlay and the different little. I like all the little gadgets. I'm a gadget guy. I like all the little gadgets. Same. and all that. So I never quite get that.
That's another thing I like about Hondas. Like the base models, you still get a bunch of gadgets. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of the other cars, you got to get up there in the EXL and the XLR and to get anything. And Hondas, their base models start off with some pretty cool stuff in there already. So,
yeah. And I never get quite what I want, right? But then I will drive it for another 10 years. Mm-hmm. So again, mine's a 2013 as well. Actually, hers is 2015. Anyway, it didn't matter. 2013 Veloster, Ford C-Max hybrid. So I drive, but it's at 200,000 miles, and I've said that 3 times tonight for whatever reason. But this Kelly Blue Book is at best like $1,000. Maybe it's like it says basically in the right condition at the right dealership, you might get $1,000 for it. So if somebody were, because that's the voices I'm hearing is growing up, I was like, you don't have any value. You know, well, my car, I loved it. It is treating me well. It's still in great condition. I think on the open market, I might could say, hey, I don't want to sell it. So if you want to give me $5,000, I'll take that, you know, type of deal. Because if I were to go, well, I'm not gonna, but if I were to go out tomorrow and lease a car, my car would just sit over another part of my yard and we'd drive it every once in a while. It'd be a backup because for $1,000, why let it go if it's doing well?
Yeah. And the thing is, the thing about saying that
it's paid off. So.
Yeah, it doesn't have any value is the only way you're really going to get the value is if you go in and pay cash for the whole car. Yeah. But then it's still depreciating a ton. So you really just, I'm always thinking, the way I'm thinking is like, I got to get the right payment that's comfortable for us. You need a car. I mean, it's almost, I'm not going to Uber everywhere. You need a car. I need that payment lower. And I know you can do it with a lease. But we almost did just buy our last lease out and then go buy a used car. That was one of the options on the table too.
Because like you said, you're not leaving as much anymore.
Right. And if I can get that low payment and I know and it's for 3 years, that's what a lot of people do. Because you can lease for, that's usually the term, 3 years.
Okay.
I know like in 3 years, probably not that much is going to change. And I don't want to get into a 7-year buy, where you're buying it, you're like 5, 6, 7 years and things could change over that time. And then you're kind of screwed. Like you got to make sure you can make that payment for 6, 7 years. And that scares me.
Yeah. I mean, you got the Trans-Siberian Orchestra money. How are you not taking a personal jet everywhere? Come on.
Right.
Crap.
Right.
TSO branded Josh on his booty. It's worth a mint. It's worth quite a mint, I believe.
It was a good deal, but it wasn't worth a car.
Look, Taco Bell, I will paint my car Taco Bell colors if you sponsor me and buy me a new car.
He will wrap the rock god of podcasting, Charles McFall, will wrap his car in an image of him eating a burrito with a Taco Bell shirt on with his mohawk painted Taco Bell colors. All you got to do is sponsor him. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm only asking for a Rivian. I mean, not much.
And your beard, too. That has to be Taco Bell colors, too.
I'll dye that one, the purple. Live Moss. Live Moss, my friend. But yeah, what about full electric? Because I for the longest time I wanted to go full electric because one, I love the idea and I've driven them. I really enjoy driving them, but also the idea of like, man, when I filled up Cody Fingers my electric tank, it cost me $10. Now it cost me an hour of my time, but it cost me $10 cash. I value my cash a lot more than my time, depending on what's going on. Right? Sometimes it reverses. Yeah. But every time I fill up my car, takes 3 minutes, but it's $30, $40, $50 out of my pocket every single. But electric prices are tending to trend upwards right now. So that might not be as strong an argument, but other than I just like an electric car. So how, well, you went and looked at the Prelude, which is an all electric car, I do believe.
The thing that stopped me from an electric car was the startup costs. Because you've got to have something at your house to charge it.
Yep.
So there's different levels of what you can get, and depending on the level means like if I got to go out tomorrow, I've got to charge this for 48 hours, and it's like what the heck?
No. You got to treat it like coffee, man. You get the fast charger installed for like $1,000 to $2,000, and that's the top level, and that's it. You don't get no Folgers level charger for your car. That's some hot coffee mess right there.
And that's what stopped me right there. I was like, I don't think so. And then, it was, it drove okay and everything like that. I mean, I didn't notice anything. It was like a regular car, but yeah, that's what stopped me was the startup costs, the learning curve, thinking about road tripping and like,
you definitely have to plan that out.
Yeah, dude, you can't just go anywhere. You've got to have the right place. So that stopped me.
So my wife has said that too, because so we flew to Rhode Island, which is a notoriously small state, And we originally weren't going to rent a car, changed our minds and rented a
Thank
car.
you, Carmen San Diego.
We went up to Boston. We shipped up to Boston for a day. And anyway, he's like, hey, you got two choices, really. You can have this, because we wanted a little bit of a SUV. We don't like to be cramped in little spaces. I mean,
Yeah.
people look at, if you look at a Ford C-Max, it looks small, but it's like Doctor Who. It's bigger on the inside. It's got that dome, so I fit, and people fit with me, and it's fine. So you can do this, or you can do all electric, same price, no worries. I'm like, oh, I want the all electric, and she didn't like at one point, because there was the hotel we stayed at had a slow charger, so you're only getting a little bit overnight. When we went to Boston, we parked in the free charging spots, but again, free is slow. So, but it was doing okay. And we didn't go a lot of places, but we went over to Connecticut to gamble, and then driving back, I'm like, yeah, we'll need to find a fast charger. I had the app and everything. I was stoked about it. Josh, let me tell you, I don't know about your nightly routine, but my wife and I's nightly routine is typically, once we're winding down for bed, it's at the time we were watching certain Netflix shows. This one was Big Mouth. We were watching up to that on our laptop or TV or whatever. Then, and that's winding us down. Then we go to bed and you watch TikToks for 30 minutes or so, right? And because you saved them all day to show each other,
Sure.
And then you go to sleep. So she loves to gamble. So we stayed there later than we intended, and it was late coming back. And I found this, for me, a happy place. I found a Harley Davidson shop that had a fast charger, and we pulled in there, and we're watching Big Mouth on my phone, and she's getting antsy and getting tired. I'm like, this is not different than if we were at the hotel room, because we'd still be watching Big Mouth on my phone. The only difference is we'd be laying in the bed, stuff sitting in the car. Yeah. But she's been antsy about that. But I told her, because she said the same thing you did. You can't just go anywhere. It's like, but you don't road trip like I road trip. I road trip 12 hours. You stop 2 times, and that's when you have to refuel. And you pee, and you grab some Sammys off the shelf, and you get back on the road. She wants to stop and walk around and maybe sit down and eat a little bit, stretch your legs. I hate that. But getting me an electric car, we'll fix that, because I'll go, oh, here's a spot that we can charge the car for 30 minutes, and you can do what you want. We'll go walk around. We'll see the biggest ball of yarn or whatever BS you want to see today, and best about, yeah, she's still not stoked about it.
Yeah, it depends on where we're going. I'm with her on stopping a bunch of times. Like, for me, it's weird. It makes the trip seem shorter. Like, I don't know. I'd get A to B. It makes the trip feel longer to me if we stop. We drive. Our family lives in Cleveland, Ohio.
So it's like an energy level thing for you, just because you get out and do something different.
I don't know what it is, but we drove to Cleveland like 3 years ago. Like, I started this tradition just because the boys are homeschooled, so I wanted like an event to like end the year. So we do a road trip to go visit grandparents, and we went and we stopped at this toy store, and it just felt like the trip went really quickly. And it's weird if I go and it's like 12 hours to Cleveland, but if I go and just try to like white knuckle until we need to use the bathroom and fuel like twice, it just feels like it takes forever. I don't know why. That's just me.
So what we're saying is, when we do our tour, which I got a tour in mind for us to do with uploads of fun and this and Wiser, that the tour bus, we'll just have to have distractions on the tour bus, because we ain't stopping with the tour bus.
A tour bus, yeah, you don't need to stop, and you're going to probably feel like you're at home, I would hope.
Yeah.
A little bit, at least.
Our wives and kids are on the other bus, and we're just playing our video games and goofing off and making content the whole time.
I'm not building any decks, though.
Yes, you are. Okay, now I'm going to make you play Slay the Spire 2 at some point, and you're going to love it. You know why you're going to love it? Because I love it. And we tend to love the same things.
Sounds like a big commitment, like coffee.
What game do you play?
Dude, I'm not telling you what game I play on my phone, because there's one game I play on my phone, and I do it. Do you know why I do it? So I'm not constantly on apps. I'm like addicted to having my phone in my hand, but I'm like, I'm not going to be on an app. I'm just going to play this game, and this is going to be different. So I'm not even going to tell you.
Oh yeah, Devo is up there with you. I love making stops and checking out all the sites. I would, yeah, you would, because it's just for me. Also, he drove from is it Missouri? I think he lives in Missouri. That to DragonCon last year,
Okay.
and he just parked in a space and just slept outside. That's what he did. He just slept outside. I'm like, where's the Wi-Fi? Where's the box fan, Devo? Where's my coffee?
So, but the road trips you're talking about, are these like for pleasure or for work?
Pleasure. Well, I tend to treat them both the same, but usually it's like, okay, we're this many years ago taking the kids to Disney from Atlanta to Orlando. That should be about a 7.5, 8 hour trip. Even with me pushing and upsetting some people and stopping to kind of keep the peace, 9.5 to 10 hours. It's an 8 hour trip, man. We can make it in 7.5 if you let me do what I do.
But here's the thing. If you get there in 7.5, what time are you leaving? Because so what time are you wanting to leave? Are you like psychotic and wanting to leave at 3 a.m. and get there at 10?
No, I was raised that way, which is fine because I was, as a kid, you're picked up, put in the car, you go back to sleep.
Sure.
Magic carpet ride, right?
Right.
Those road trips take 5 minutes because you sleep most of it. No, I don't do that. It's I don't like getting up early, man. I don't. But I tried to leave it at a reasonable time, like let's say between 8 and 10 o'clock in the morning to get there before dinner, because we usually do like an Airbnb or something for the family. So then we gotta get groceries and because when I get there, I'm gonna be done. I want to get the luggage in, and then I want to sit down and not move and just chill and decompress for a couple hours.
Okay, so you're making even less sense now.
Oh my god!
Because like you. What I think about then, if it's a travel day, so that's a travel day because I'm not going to be able to do anything at Disney that day because by the time we get there,
you're not going to the party that day, yeah.
So then, what's wrong with another hour? It's like talking to my wife about loading the dishwasher. There's nothing wrong with how I load it.
There's nothing wrong with the load of BS you have. Absolutely. Thank you for listening to Little Brown Pill. Woo! Coffee's Viagra for the soul. Drink up, people.